Hello and welcome. I am Flux. In this video, I would like to talk to you about the latest Valve products that have been announced, but more specifically about the Steam Frame. I am not paid by Valve or Steam. I wouldn't even be honestly considered a fan of Steam. I prefer to get my games from GOG, due to some factors I will only get into if you want me to. First off, a little story. I was binge-watching YouTube videos recently, watching some retro gaming channels and their take on certain devices that were either new or had been out for a while. But they were just making a video on it now. And I came across a channel called Retro Game Core. I'll put a clicky thing in the description so you can go take a look for yourself later. Really good videos. They put out a video titled Valve is Pushing Emulation Further, and I thought I would take a little look and see. Already been watching other videos on other channels to see how to turn the Steam Deck into an emulation machine, so I thought this might be something similar. It was not. In the video, he lays out the various products that Valve has announced. The Steam controller, which is honestly better looking than their first Steam controller. And the Steam Machine, which appears to be far better than their first attempt at a Steam Machine. Having been someone who was around for the original launch of both, and at the very least purchased the original Steam controller, I can say this is a better start. But the Steam Frame caught my eye and ear, so I decided to go over and check out their store page for this device. Oh yes, it exists, non-affiliated link in the description. Looking over this page, one thing started to stand out to me. They want you to understand that this will connect to your entire Steam library. Every game, VR, and non-VR. The second thing they point out is PC VR connectivity. I'm assuming because they want you to buy the Steam Machine as well, so that this can be connected to it to get that clean, crisp, virtual reality experience from hardware that was meant to talk with each other. But another thing they mention is, it supports standalone play as well. I know, not a new concept. The Quest 2 and the Quest 3 both support this, as well as a few other headsets I'm not going to bother looking up right now. But this is where we get to why I think this new headset will be a good value. Headsets have hardware limitations, just like consoles. They're good for a while, but eventually the games will start demanding more. And just like a console, the headsets can't be upgraded. They can get software updates to try and optimize what they have already, but you can only go so far with that. Once the limit is reached, that's it. Buy the new device, or get left behind. The Steam Frame doesn't suffer this problem. Okay, well, it does. I'm not stupid. It's just like every other headset in that, once it reaches the limits of its hardware, that's it. But unlike, say, the Quest 2, you aren't left in the dust. Say in a few years, a game comes out that exceeds the Steam Frame's standalone hardware capabilities. You aren't locked out, you just run it from your computer instead. Your headset is still viable, if slightly limited, that you can't fight orcs in your doctor's office anymore. Since it's straight out designed to connect to whatever computer you have available and use Steam VR that way, just because your headset is older, doesn't mean you can't play the new hotness. You just leverage your computer's power to run it instead. Yes, I know. Technically, the Quest 2 and the Quest 3 can do this as well, but not as good. Trust me, I know. I was able to get a secondhand Quest 2 for like $10 and used it for 3 months before the controls started to fail. I know how janky the connection can be, even wired. And I know every hoop you have to jump through to make it work. Then you have the Steam ecosystem. It's not locked to platform or device exclusives. Are you a Quest 2 user and you want to play Batman Arkham Shadow? Sorry, upgrade to the Quest 3 or miss out. But that's not a thing for the Steam Frame. Say in the future, they introduce the Frame 2 and launch a new Half-Life VR game to go with it. Frame 1 users locked out? No. Just because your headset can't run it standalone doesn't mean your headset can't run it. Just means you have to run it off your computer instead, which is a far easier thing to upgrade. You also don't have to worry about those pesky exclusives. If it's in your Steam library, you can play it, even when it's too new for standalone. This is why, even without knowing the price, I think that the Steam frame is going to be good value. And yes, I plan to use my Steam version RetroArch to play retro games on the frame if I ever find myself in a position that I could afford one. What good is an expensive VR headset if you don't play 30-year-old games on it? I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day.
Yo! Bye!